Welcome to a Starter and a Chaser podcast with your hosts, Joe Clarke and Jon Passow.
I'm thinking of a color between 1 and 10. Oh, hey guys. Welcome to a Starter and a Chaser podcast, where weekly we review one beer and one whiskey just for you guys.
I'm Professional Brewer, Jon Passow.
I'm Whiskey Connoisseur, Joe Clarke.
And we are doing a very special vertical tasting. And Joe, what is it of?
Guys, we have Jim Beam White Label.
Jim Beam Black Label.
Jim Beam Double Oak.
Double Oak.
Taste
It's gonna get ya.
Wait, we shouldn't be. Yeah,
No,
okay, all right.
Copyrighted, possibly. Anyways.
All right, so let's go back to the information here,
Tell
buddy.
us about Jim Beam.
Jim Beam was started in 1795 by Jacob Beam. He started selling corn whiskey in Kentucky.
Go figure.
It's now owned by Beam Suntory. This is their 225th year in production.
Wow.
That's 7 generations of the Beam family.
That's incredible.
Absolutely. Jim Beam is named after James Beam. It was rebuilt after Prohibition.
Yeah,
and
James Beam is the person that did that.
It is produced in Claremont, Kentucky currently. It is 4 years old, 80 proof. That is the white label. The black label is it's years longer in barrels. It's kind of a no age statement kind of thing, and it's aged to taste. It's 86 proof.
And the double oak is it's once they finish aging it, it's put into second barrels, which are freshly charred white oak, and once again aged to taste. 86 proof as well.
Nice. So we got 80, 86, and 86.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of the lighter ones.
We're going to go from, as you can see behind us, white label, black label, blue label.
Yep.
So starting with the first one.
White label.
White label, regular Jim Beam. Some kind of, just hints of copper on the outside, kind of this
Goldish.
gold. Yeah, gold.
Pilsnery kind of color, right?
A little darker than Pilsner, but
okay.
close enough. There's some legs. It's actually thicker than I would have expected.
Me too.
It's been a long time
I was
since
expecting something in this range to be a little more dissipating on the side, so all right, cool.
Okay, now the extra, we're going to just do some colors real quick before we go into, this is a little darker.
Yeah.
A little darker. Still has some gold, but we're getting a lot more copper on it.
Yeah, I was going to say we're starting to bring out a little bit of the red-orange notes here. Let's say thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Higher proof as well. Now the double oak.
There we go.
Copper.
Yeah, that's what I likey.
That
Me likey.
second barrel really shows up.
Nice and thick.
Thick, yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, white label, nose.
What do we get on the nose, Joe?
Joe's going to tell us.
Wow. Very, not super complex, kind of simple. It's just like a vanilla bomb.
Yeah.
A little bit of green apple in there. Small amounts of caramel.
So it sounds simple but straightforward.
Barrel. One barrel. We seem to be finding a lot of with Jim Beam products in general, they're very barrel forward. You really get a lot of the, if you're like a barrel head and you really like the barrel taste, charred taste, chewing on the wood kind of thing, Jim Beam is somebody to check out here, guys. Just a little side note. Because I like this stuff. Okay. Yeah, pretty simple on that one. Yeah.
Now the black label, extra aged bourbon.
Surprisingly, very similar. Very concentrated.
Okay.
A lot of the barrel again on this one, John.
So similar but a little bit more intense?
Almost a little like in the background, you're starting to get those Kentucky bourbon, typical stone fruits, just dancing in the background on this one.
Waltzing through.
Little citrusy. I'm kind of picking up they're known for the kind of citrusy orange peel.
Okay.
It's starting to show through on this one, yeah.
Just a little bit?
Yeah, it's, I think on the palate we're gonna kind of sense something different on that one.
Now the double
oaked. Ooh. Caramelly. caramel, tomato, potato.
Interesting side notes. It's a mistake to think that you can solve all of life's problems with a potato.
Or a potato?
Or a potato.
Okay.
Tomato might not, though.
A lot of caramel on this. A lot of vanilla, a lot of caramel, brown sugar, citrus notes, some stone fruit dancing in the background. This one's got the little bit minty kind of thing going on there. Oh, that's interesting, John. A lot of barrel on this.
Okay.
Big time. Very oaky, very kind of splintery on the nose, to be honest with you.
So it's really interesting on the nose. To me, hearing what you were saying, it sounds like there's a logical
like a
progression.
like graduation with each of them.
Yeah, where it's getting there's similar threads, but they're getting more intense and they're getting more complex.
More complex. More concentrated, easier to pick up on each version, going from this to this to this. This one's got a lot more barrel notes to it. You're getting kind of like the sweet wheat kind of smell. A little bit of mustiness to it, to be honest with you, on the back of that when I was smelling it, kind of Tennessee-ish a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you guys are familiar.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. And if you have watched the podcast before, be sure to hit subscribe and leave us a comment down there below.
Absolutely.
Let's just dive right into the first white label.
Jim Beam.
Prost. Very light.
Yeah.
This is actually a very easy drinking whiskey right off the bat. Little
Spicy.
caramel, little spicy. Front of the tongue it hits on. You picking any barrel up?
A hint?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like, I gotta try to find it.
Yeah,
actually.
well, let's see if we can find it on the second taste here.
Okay. It's there a little bit.
It's a little bit.
It's not crazy. You still kind of have to hunt for it. A little bit of caramel, a little bit of vanilla. I'm actually thinking more vanilla.
Sugar. I get a little brown sugar
too.
This is a very light, easy sipping whiskey.
Wow. Something like this, be good in a rocks glass or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I used to get some whiskeys, and in the summertime when it's really hot outside, I don't just like to drink whiskey straight all the time. I get I guess you could say cheaper bottle, but I do like my cheaper bottles to taste good too. This tastes good.
Yeah.
This would be great with some ice. Good flavors
for
an entry.
Take a little sip of water. I got my Back to the Future coffee mug from my buddy Christopher Satis.
Yeah.
All right. Now the Black Label, extra aged. Prost. Brown sugar. You were right about the condensed, more intense.
You're starting to.
Yeah.
It's easier to find these flavors.
It's
more citrus note to it.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of like orange peel on there.
More barrel.
I'm gonna go for a second.
The barrel's coming in. Yeah.
That's really nice.
The barrel's coming in.
Yeah. More of that kind of rye spice note is starting to hit the tongue on the second sip there.
Yeah.
Now, this is kind of fun for me. I've got a little bit of a history with Jim Beam. I went to a Catholic high school that we always wore a uniform for, and every once in a while they'd have a dress down Friday where we can bring out our own style. I wore my mom's yellow 1970s with black lettering Jim Beam over the front. It was a vintage shirt, and I got called in to the principal's office, and she said, "You can't wear an alcohol shirt." And I was like, "What are you talking about? This is a band." And I convinced them it was a band, so they let me wear my mom's Jim Beam shirt all day.
That's awesome.
It's kind of fun to be professionally reviewing their product.
Yeah, absolutely.
23 years later.
You come full circle.
Mr. Abood, it was Jim Beam. Oh.
Nice. little less burn, because the other one you kind of, the white label, you picked up a little of the alcohol in that one.
I would just say a hint. And you're right, there is a little bit less of that.
Some people don't like this word, it's smoother.
Yeah.
So on the alcohol, I mean, in general, a little more velvety on the tongue. It's got a nice weight to it, where the other one felt very light.
Yeah, this has got some heft.
It does. Yeah, absolutely.
This around a fire, I think, would be an awesome night.
Yeah.
So we'll cleanse the palates here real quick.
That's mouthwash. You've contaminated it.
The double oaked.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited about this.
You tell the color difference like right away when you're even picking it up.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers.
Swans.
This is a good one. Before you say anything, the tongue feel on this one. Heavy.
Heavy.
No.
Splintery. This is
double barrel.
Oak bomb.
Yeah. It is double oak.
The oak is going to get you. Brown sugar.
Yeah. This is a lot more concentrated condensed flavors, meaning that you get a lot of brown sugar, a lot of caramel. I'm picking up a lot of citrus, a lot of barrel, vanilla, like a lot of the typical Kentucky bourbon notes are in this, but it's very concentrated. I don't know what it is. Some bourbons, John, I don't like a lot of the barrel. Jim Beam seems to have like honed just a really good blend of the barrel and the flavors that it just draws you into it. It really does.
I would completely agree with that. This is on the edge of splintery, and I mean, the barrel hit me right away. But on the second sip, brown sugar, and it's very well balanced with that deep barrel tannic note.
I get a lot of rye on this, John.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do too.
Getting a lot of rye on it.
And I'm curious. In theory, this is the same product. From this one to this one to this one, it's just the extra age or the double barrel on it is the difference. I'm wondering if the barrel is bringing out that rye. Yeah. But certain heavily charred barrels can have kind of a spice note that you can get from the American oak.
Yeah.
So maybe that's doing it.
And you do pick that up as like a rye type spice or cooking spice or pepper.
Pepper.
Cajun spices kind of thing going on. This kind of brings that to me, like kind of that Cajun spice thing going on here.
I could see that, like Creole kind of seasoning. Yeah.
Very good. All three very well balanced.
Yeah. Okay, so what are our final thoughts now that we've done the progression from white, black, blue?
I haven't had this in a long time, and I really like it. I think I don't even know what the price of this is. I don't even think it's very much, 10, 11 bucks. I think something like that, maybe 9.
Maybe, I don't know. I wouldn't think it's that inexpensive.
I think it is.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Guys, link below.
Comment.
Been a while.
Let us know.
I like it. It's good. It's a great starter whiskey. It's a great. I can see this being a great mixer. Well, I know this because this is what I buy for Christmas when I put this, nutmeg, and cinnamon in eggnog. And that's what I do for Christmas with that one.
Nice.
And it's fantastic.
For our Instagram account, which you can follow us at A Starter and a Chaser Podcast on Instagram, we might actually have to post a recipe for that.
Yeah, it's
with
good.
Pictures of Joe Clarke's get schnockered eggnog.
It's just milk, kids.
Black. So you were talking about the white label. You haven't had it in a while, and you appreciate it.
Thumbs up.
Black and blue. Final thoughts.
Black X-rays. It's on another level. When you go from when you go from white label to the black, it's on 2 different levels. The black is nice. It's very smooth. You start to pick up more of the concentrated flavors, similar flavors, but you're not hunting for them. It's there. Barrel notes are still kind of, they're there. You notice it. Not crazy or anything like that.
And now blue.
Blue, Mr. Double Oaked is actually one of my favorite Jim Beams, to be honest with you. I love this bottle. You cannot beat this for the price. It is really hard to beat this whiskey for the price. I love the double barrel. I love the fact that it really brings their splintery side forward. You notice a lot of the rye spices in it, and it's a great drink. It's so well balanced, and the flavors are just uber concentrated.
Now for me, like Joe, it's been a very long time since I've had Jim Beam. Not since high school, but shorter period than that. But my thoughts: white label, great summer sipper. I mean, I was shocked. It's got subtle flavors. It's nice. It's nuanced. It's easy drinking. Black label, that kind of rye spice hits the front of the tongue, but more condensed flavors, a little bit more body. Once again, great for a campfire. That one screams camp for me.
Really?
Campfire.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then the double oak, really cool. To get more of those barrel tannins in there, but balanced with the brown sugar, adds just an extra dynamic to it that I think is really fascinating. But you know me, I'm the barrel guy. I love cool barrel stuff, and this is right up my alley. Joe, what's your favorite out of these?
Double oak.
Double oak?
Definitely. This is bang for your buck here. You're getting a lot more than you're paying for it. It's fantastic product, Jim Beam. We really thank you for putting something like this out.
Don't put it away, because this is my pick as well.
Yeah.
I mean, these were all fantastic.
Yeah.
And but I think it's close, but that double oak, I think, hedges out in front of the other ones for me.
I will tell you, these are two mainstays in my collection.
Nice.
The black extra age and the double oaked. I like them both. It depends on my mood. Bringing it down to a flight, going up the it's just the double oak wins.
Speaking of your collection, we should do a special Patreon episode of going through your collection sometimes. By the way, you can help support us on Patreon at, just search A Starter and a Chaser podcast on Patreon. We've got a lot of cool episodes that are exclusive for our Patreon supporters on there. And that is this week's special episode of A Starter and a Chaser podcast.
I don't know how to drink these all at once.
I think I figured out the color that you're thinking of. It's the letter Q.
Okay. Yeah. You spot on. Are you like clairvoyant or something?
I do have ESPN.